Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Baltimore, Maryland, where tonight the Baltimore Vultures at 3-6 try for one more week to extend their hopes of making the playoffs once again. They have every season since season 11. Meanwhile, the Washington Trident, winners of 5 straight, have shaken off an early 1-3 start to now be at 6-3 and squarely in the mix of the SFL playoffs for the second consecutive season. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. Andy Hamilton and Justin Reside are in our stats truck tonight. Charles, this is a matchup of sort of past versus present. The Baltimore of old and the Washington of new. How do these teams stack up tonight as the Vultures give it one last hurrah?
Big road game for Washington, just to show the rest of the league that they're built for going deep in the playoff. Like you said, they won 5 in a row. They're coming into Baltimore, and you don't let that 3-6 record fool you. I mean, you always got to be on your A game going against any team coached by T-Pat.
Baltimore's won more championships than any other franchise. That's 5, and they've made the playoffs for more seasons than I can count quickly as the kick is underway. And so are we here from Maryland. This is a return out past the 30-yard line to the 32. Beautifully done there by Shane Kaufman, as Washington will start with pretty good field position. Tommy Utah, very efficient with the football. Charles, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions or make a lot of mistakes.
No, he doesn't. And also his offensive line, you know how I'm always big on the folks in the trenches. They keep them standing upright. 6th in the league for sacks allowed.
We'll send the big man in motion from right to left as Washington in their gray and whites with the red and blue and gold trim will break a couple tackles, and Sammons has a first down all the way out to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 14 yards.
That's what you call strength and effort on the half of Sammons. I mean, looked like he was going to get brought down a couple times. 2 defenders had him dead to rights, but he was just able to power through and get that first down. Very impressive, and maybe setting the tone for for the offense for Washington.
A $5 super chat from Mark Lopez. We never miss an SFL game, even if it has to be watched in the university parking lot. We appreciate that dedication, and show the other cars for us as Christopher Dean takes the handoff and it picks up 5. This Washington Trident offense includes Utah, Sammons, and Dean in the backfield, along with Julian Gusters, the 6'7", 265 man that you saw earlier here tonight. King Alexander, Johan Sutherland, Terrell Cooper, Shane Kaufman, and Phil Koss at receiver. Azami Mahata at tight end, Dakota Butt, Scott Pancake, Phil McMillan, Phil McMillan, and Charles Michael are on the offensive front as Jeff Milanishin gets the stop after a pickup of just 2 there, 3rd down.
Now, the backfield of the Trident, they're stacked. Sammons, Dean, and Gusters. I mean, you can give the ball to any one of them, throw it to any one of them, and they're going to execute on the field. They're just so skilled.
Utah going to pass on 3rd down and 3, and that one is incomplete. His first attempt of the night, looking for Johan Sutherland. That will bring up a 4th down for Washington, a promising opening drive, but after 4 plays, they will have to punt it away.
It looked like the routes on that, they got in each other's way. Maybe the defense calls that a little bit on the line at the snap, but just did not look well executed from the snap.
Trident will try to pin Baltimore deep on their opening possession. It will hop into the end zone, so Jack Wigmore will get the ball on the 20-yard line. Baltimore is a curious team, Charles. They're number 1 in the league in yards per carry, yet they run it the second fewest times of anyone in the SFL. I'm guessing Chicago is the only team that runs it fewer, but Jack Wigmore, always a threat, and Ivory Irvin, the top receiver in the league right now.
Yeah, they got. I think that, they're going to go open up and pass here. They're going up against the Trident that are 4th in interceptions in the league. They have very solid secondary. Strength
on strength, and so far it's Ivory Irvin winning the battle, getting his first catch of the night for 9 yards. He now has 70 receptions in the league, 2nd most.
I mean, Irvin is a superstar. He's got great hands. He's fast. Great route runner. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more than what you got in Irvin.
Second down and 1. They will toss it out to T-Roy Gaines, and T-Roy Gaines will break through a tackle and get up to about the 45-yard line. Similar opening drives as both teams end up getting a big run out near midfield.
I mean, Salmons did it, and he could, Warren Murray can do that too. I mean, just started off good blocking on the edge, but then the rest of it was all Murray and his physicality came.
Gains 4.2 yards per carry this season. Warren Murray 4.9. This is Wigmore dropping that off to Mac Chima, and that he is separated from the football by Maxwell Quimby in his second season.
Yeah, great coverage by Quimby, and reached around right at the right moment and got that ball out of his hands.
Washington has the toughest strength of schedule remaining. They need to take care of business tonight on the road against Baltimore, although the Vultures did win last week in a hard-fought game against Queen City. This is Wigmore dropping the throw with a little bit of pressure, but Ivory Irvin is there to make the catch. Nicholas Warner, the 16-season veteran with the tackle, having one of his best seasons of his career.
And Irvin is just insane. I mean, there's only a handful of wide receivers in this league that could pull that off. They're right in the face, right in the face of the defender. Warner's coming at him, full speed and able to just take it up, jump up to that extra level and bring it in.
Irvin has the longest reception in the league this season, 79 yards. And a whopping 1,123 on the campaign. Empty again out of 1st and 10. This is Wigmore dropping a throw. This time he overthrows Chima, and nearly an interception on the back end by Quimby. Chima now 0 for 2.
So far, so good for the offensive line for the Vultures. They're keeping the quarterback clean, but it looks like maybe that defensive line of the Trident starting to get a little power there, trying to get in some creases there between the gaps, and maybe we'll see some pressure on the quarterback here soon.
Yeah, I agree. Forcing some quick throws. Wigmore sacked just 9 times this season, second fewest in the league, despite his 3rd most pass attempts. This is Wigmore against a 4-man rush, and Ivory Irvin, sure-handed again, gets it to the Washington 30-yard line.
And that's just a cheat code. The ball comes in your area, you hit A, B, up arrow, down arrow, and you put your left foot up in the air, and you're able to catch it in any situation. That's Irvin.
Left foot and right arm, apparently, for
That's right.
Ivory Irvin, and Baltimore's firing on all cylinders here on the opening drive. They are in scoring position, 6:46 to go in the opening quarter. Scoreless here on the Monday Night Spectacular as Wigmore will take off and run, and Wigmore gets away and picks up 5. Jack Wigmore, only his 12th carry in 10 games this season, but makes the most of it.
And he got hit in the head, too, and still able to maintain his composure, take it for that positive 5-yard gain.
To the backfield, including Gaines, offset to the left, and this time he gets the carry inside, picking up 4.
I mean, that's what Gaines is built for, those power moves up the middle. I mean, we've seen it through his whole career. Hall of Famer, he just gets the ball, takes it up the middle, and makes people pay for it.
52 yards on this opening drive, 3rd down and 1. Warren Murray gets his first handoff, and he'll just have enough to move the sticks and pick up the 1st down. A little dicey there for the Vultures, but the drive stays alive.
Yeah, good running so far for the Vultures on this possession, both out of their fullback and their halfback. And you also have to give a tip of the cap to the offensive line, too, for their run blocking.
To the left, one to the right for Wigmore. Jack Wigmore on 1st down. Ivory Irvin's his man, and in double coverage, it is him. 6-0 Baltimore. Touchdown.
Get out of town. That's amazing. I'm running out of things to say. 6th touchdown of the season. You just throw it to him, and he catches it. It's amazing. That's all I can say.
4 catches on 4 targets for 51 yards and a touchdown on the opening drive. Ivory Irvin is the real deal, and he does his part, certainly, and then some on the opening drive for the Vultures to tack on a score. Victor Ironleg with the extra point. That is good. That caps a 10-play, 79-yard, 3-minute drive for Baltimore as Ivory Irvin says, "What's up?" to the fan.
Yeah, and you know what? The defense for Washington has to find an answer. For Irvin, they got to maybe start bumping him on the line, maybe bring the safety over for some extra help. But I mean, it's easy for me to say that. He's been catching it in double coverage, so not really sure what to do to keep that superstar in check.
From 2 yards deep in the end zone, this is Kaufman on the return, and Shane Kaufman will break off a tackle. It's one of those nights, Charles, I feel like he's going to break one of these. He's had 2 really nice returns so far.
You know what's interesting about the Trident wide receiver core? It looks like they've got 5 wide receivers, and it looks like they all have 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's spreading the ball around.
Yeah, amazing distribution there from Washington. And even all time, you know, they've spread the love too. Phil Koss leads the team with 36 touchdowns, but Cooper with 24, Kaufman with 20, as those 3 have combined for 26 SFL seasons. Tommy Utah against some heavy pressure, finds Terrell Cooper wide open, past the 40, spinning, getting away from 2. Cooper all the way down to the 18-yard line for the first down.
I'd love to see the replay here to see how he bounced wide open on the edge there. I mean, that is a sin, leaving Cooper that wide open. Let's see what they show us here. Well, a little late, but man, there might have been a crossing pattern, something that maybe set a pick for the defender. Something had to have happened to leave that wide receiver that wide open.
Baltimore over the last few weeks have been bringing a lot of pressure, playing a lot of man coverage, and it's burned them a time or two. Didn't hurt them as much against Queen City, but it hurt him on that play as Utah will fire over the middle of the field, caught by Phil Koss, his 7th season with this Trident squad, formerly the Motor City V8s, and now it's 1st and goal for the Trident.
And what an opportune time to do that little short rollout, but takes execution on that offensive line to keep the quarterback upright. So hats off to the offensive line, but you know they sent the defense for Baltimore sent some blitz up the middle, and it was well covered and gave plenty of time for Utah.
Hand off to Simmons, picks up a yard. That is Melanishin on the tackle again, bringing up 2nd down and goal. This Baltimore Vulture defense includes Robert Brady, Al Walker, Ralph Leopold, and Nate Brown up front, Frank Smith, Jeff Melanishin, Alvin Mack at linebacker, Ben Stackenpaper, Elijah Warfield, and Roy Towers at corner. Young Vaught is the strong safety, no Giovanni Bolt, still inactive as they're thin on the back end. Dwayne Salmons breaks a tackle and scores. Washington counters with a rushing touchdown.
We are seeing some great receiving by Irvin on the Baltimore, but both of these offenses are running superbly. And on this play, Salmons just powered. Again, another play where it looked like it was going to get brought down by number 42, I guess that's Frank Smith. And wasn't able to bring him down, powered it into the end zone. Just great running by Washington, and a great way to answer back after that nice drive by Baltimore.
All right, so we might have a little bit of a shootout on our hands as the extra point is up and good. 7-7, 4 plays, 75-yard, a 1:38 drive. And so far, so good, Charles, for us continuing this unprecedented streak of instant classics here on M&S.
Yes, so far so good. I like the way that Baltimore is fighting. They're still they still got a little bit of spring in their step, regardless of what's going on off the field.
Baltimore announced that they are folding. I've talked to teams around the league, across the SFL, and everybody else is coming back. You can expect maybe, I would put it at about 90% right now. 22 teams heading into season 26 as we prepare for another convention year in the summer as well. More details coming up on that very soon. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Jack Wigmore and the Vultures as number 9 trying to deliver to Irvin, and this time it is deflected away by Nathaniel Diggs to force a 2nd down.
That outside linebacker Diggs is 270 pounds, and you wouldn't know based on the height he got on that jump.
That is the first time that Baltimore has targeted Ivory Irvin without success. So now 2nd down and 10. They'll stay in the empty set. 4-3 look from Washington's defense as they'll back off and get in the way of the passing lanes once again. That is Nicholas Warner, the linebackers, doing work dropping back 3rd down.
I mean, the defense for Washington is committing to covering that middle part of the field. good opportunity for some passes to the sidelines to see if you can open it up for Baltimore.
Third down, 10 yards to go for Baltimore. This is the first time they've been in third and long tonight. Wigmore against a four-man rush. Will deliver down the field. Reggio De Niro wide open out of the slot for a first down into Washington territory. Nice adjustment from the Vultures.
He just, right at the snap, he just put his afterburners on and was able to gain separation from the defender. And it looked like maybe the safety, no, excuse me, Kaufman was covering him. Just got blown away at the snap and was able to get that separation in a big game.
A straight up go route for De Niro. It's just his 16th catch in 10 games for Baltimore this season. His longest was 28 yards. That one goes for 48 all the way to the Washington 32-yard line. This is Murray going back into the backfield with 3:06 to go in the first quarter. Now Wigmore will fire it over to Mac Chima, his first grab of the night, getting him down to the Washington 16.
It's good. I mean, you're doing those quick drops against this Washington defense. They're aggressive. You got to keep them on their toes. And that play before and that little quick snap, for a first down, it's going to make them maybe get a little softer on their coverage.
If you're Washington's defense right now, Charles, any pass seeming beyond 10 yards has been pitch and catch for Wigmore. How do you adapt?
Just drop them back in deeper zone coverage, cover three, or you can bump them at the line as well.
De Niro, you got three at the top. I don't see a single Washington Trident defender over there. At least on screen, they are waiting for the handoff to David Anderson. Washington was not fooled by that motion over there. They were all over that run.
The 16-season veteran Warner just licking his chops. He saw that gap open up and was just waiting to deliver the paycheck on that one.
Second down and 9 yards to go. The handoff goes to Murray. Murray getting down to the 9-yard line to set up a third down and 2.
Any options here, but the thing, Cam, I always say it when you and I do games, you don't have a lot of real estate here, so you can't have those deep routes. You got to have the routes that kind of map for the amount of real estate you're dealing with in this situation.
Third and short for the Vultures, trying to make it 2 for 2 offensively on their opening drive. Handoff up the middle. That is good speed, backing up Gaines, picking up a first and goal.
I don't know what Gaines did to get tired on that one, but yeah, the second string fullback comes in and executes. And part of that as well is the great blocking up front.
First and goal at the 4 as Irvin will go in motion, the lone receiver in this set. Gaines is the fullback in the backfield along with Murray. Toss out to Murray. Murray will try to break it outside. He's going to pick up a couple as he was dragged down by King McNeely for a second and goal.
And that is a large specimen. When McNeely locks onto you and you're able to drive a couple more yards, that's just showing how powerful you are.
Second and goal, handoff, good speed again. So a couple of ill-timed fullback runs there for Baltimore as Gaines was taking a breather. Another tackle by Diggs. Diggs and Warner should open up a law firm.
And they're a little short-handed. I mean, you only got 2 contract linebackers playing on the field tonight. Both of them are just, they're making their own little highlight reel tonight.
Third and goal. They'll run it again, and this time it's stopped in the backfield. McNeely's going to get the credit and the money. Fourth and goal coming up for the Vultures.
McNeely's been in the backfield on the last couple plays. Somebody's got to figure a way to stop that man from getting in the backfield, because when he's in the backfield, it makes bad things happen for the offense.
The field goal from Victor Ironleg is good. 10-7 Baltimore on an 11-play, 76-yard, 3-minute and 51-second drive. The Washington Trident allow their opponents the fewest red zone trips per game in the league at just 2.2, and they are second best at only giving up 1 touchdown a game. They gave up 1 in that first quarter. End of the first. We'll be back to Baltimore after this. Aerial coverage of tonight's game provided by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Baltimore, beautiful city. It was lovely getting to meet it for the first time at the 2025 SFL convention, and man, we had a blast. I know Robert Thump was there, repping Washington along with many others, and it was a lot of fun. This is Kaufman on a return, 3 yards deep in the end zone. They'll get it out just to the 21. That's the best job Baltimore's done on special teams tonight. Frank Smith making the tackle, playing special teams.
I'm a little hesitant whether I should put this out in the universe, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Both of these offenses, Washington and Baltimore, have not fumbled all season. So if you're going to go to Vegas and make a big cash-in, bet if one of these teams is going to off it up tonight.
That would be the ultimate broadcaster situation there, Charles. So for your sake, I hope we have no fumbles tonight.
You told me to say it, so everybody point at Cam.
Okay. Robert Brady on the tag. Settle down, Charles. Unknown Nev in the chat. Welcome to you and the rest of our fans that may be watching tonight. Thanks for watching VFN. Nice. As that pass is caught down the field by Azami Mihata. You know, sometimes, Charles, Mihata can just go off. It just depends on the night, but he is dangerous.
He is dangerous. I mean, he kind of lulls you to sleep, but he's consistent. That's what makes him so dangerous. You know he's going to be where, as a quarterback, you know he's going to be in the right spot, and it's just a decision from the quarterback whether or not you're going to target him.
Mihata leads the team in receptions with just 33. Washington has no top 30 players in receptions. Big hit there from Alvin Mack, a pickup of 2 yards for Washington.
The 11 seat. I mean, I'm looking at the defense for Baltimore, and most of the players there have double-digit. Most of them have 11 seasons experience in this league, and they know how to hit.
2nd and 8 for the Trident on their 3rd possession of the game. This is Tommy Utah firing in one-on-one coverage, looking for Cooper. Could not find him. 3rd and 8 coming up.
I didn't get the name and number of that cornerback. It's either I think it was Warfield, maybe Towers. I'm not sure, but great coverage. I mean, had the wide receiver blanketed, no way that receiver was going to be able to catch it.
3rd down and 8. As Baltimore hopes to get off the field, play fake rollout. Utah all day. Pass caught by Koss to the 43-yard line. It was one-on-one with an undersized corner, Elijah Warfield.
And the offensive line kept Utah. Look at he has all day long to go through his progressions. And you know, if you're, I was talking about Mihata, how reliable he is. You got to put Koss in that same category. He is always where he needs to be. He doesn't make a mistake on his route running, and that is such a luxury for Utah.
Washington keeps you guessing offensively. There's no question about that. Very diverse as Christopher Dean isn't going to get anything. Alvin Mack with a couple of big plays on this drive so far.
Yeah, I really like the way Utah, his head, he has a very good football mind. I mean, he's able to sit back there and survey field. He doesn't panic and gets the crisp pass off.
One-on-one down the field. Terrell Cooper wins the battle as Baltimore brought more pressure. Tommy Utah able to deliver another crisp pass. He's 5 of 7 for 107 yards.
And he's able, in the face of pressure up the middle by, he looked like the safety was coming in on a blitz, stood there and was able to get an accurate pass off. I mean, it looks like he's starting to settle in, and that's not good news for the defense of the Vultures.
7:32 to go in the first half. Handoff on a little stretch to Dean. There's nobody there. Touchdown, Washington. I can count on one hand how many times I've seen a play like that work this season, and Dean just walks in untouched.
That was fantastic. I mean, that was normally those plays that I don't like those plays that go, across the line like that, because you have to have fast halfback and you also have to have perfect blocking, and we saw both of those on display on that play, and we're able to get 6 out of it.
Charles, how often do you see a pulling guard, Bill McMillan, pull into incoming nothing? There was no one for him to block.
Yep.
Extra point is good, and the Trident answer back. 8 plays, 77-yard, 2-minute 32-second drive. We have only had one offensive series come up empty tonight. That was Washington's opening possession, but they make up for it with 2 touchdowns.
And that's what we're looking for. Washington's got to, well, they don't have to, but the league is watching Washington to see how they respond coming into Baltimore, and so far so good. I mean, they've been firing on all cylinders. They just need to figure what way to maybe upset the momentum of the offense for Baltimore.
Washington's most impressive win of the season, probably the bookends of this season. They beat Houston in week 1, still the only team to do it, 26-17. And then last week they beat Arizona 20-16. Arizona now fighting for a playoff spot at 6-5, following another close loss this week as Wigmore's pass is caught by Chima up to the 35-yard line. Chima was 0 for his first 3 and now has his second catch of the day.
I thought that was Irvin for a second there with the one-handed catch in the middle, just about ready to get slammed by the safety. I mean, these receivers for Baltimore, they're tough. Veterans and the exception of De Niro, but man, they just know how to handle it when there's pressure in their face.
Wigmore now 7 of 11 for 129 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Another 4-man rush for Washington. They're content to drop, but they can't find number 10. First down for Baltimore.
Whew, what a way to answer. I mean, they're moving, smartly down the field, Cam. I mean, Wigmore is just finding all the open receivers and just drilling with accurate passes.
Ivory Irvin, man, I wonder, he's got to be probably one of the prized individuals of this Baltimore organization. I don't, we'll see if he keeps playing, but 9-time All-Star in 12 seasons as Matt Chima gets a catch and says, "Remember me," up to the Washington 33-yard line.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up too. I can do that too. Maybe there's a little jawing on the sidelines between Irvin and Chima. I can do that too. Just wait, man. You throw either of those wide receivers the ball, they're reliable, both of them. And what a luxury for Wigmore.
Could Baltimore make it 3 for 3 here? 6:08 to go in the first half. And the Vultures are rolling yet again. The defensive adjustments at halftime will be very interesting. Going in motion for Baltimore is Jackson Roberts without a target, a primary blocker on this team in his 5th season with the squad, 8th season overall. This is Wigmore dropping a throw. Wigmore looking Irvin's direction. Caught another one. First down near the 10-yard line.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm running out of accolades for that, man. That's just fantastic. Tight coverage. You can't hate the defender for what they were trying to do and break that pass up. And wow, I'm speechless. I mean, putting on a show tonight, Cam.
6 for 92, averaging 15.3 yards per catch tonight. So far this season, Irvin averages 16.3, and he's got another touchdown before I can even finish my point.
Unbelievable. Look, that's his 2nd tonight, Cam.
Yep. Right in the same spot of the field, too.
I don't recall him. I got to look at the stats here. I don't recall him dropping a pass tonight. Maybe one.
Well, that one was deflected. If it hit him in the hands, he caught it tonight.
Yeah, anywhere around his hands, it's going to be like a magnet. And Washington's got to do something. I think what we haven't seen a lot from the Washington defense is them lining up tight on the line. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of to throw Irvin off.
Yeah, they've been essentially rushing 4 and dropping 7 all night. It is not been super effective. Baltimore has scored on all 3 of their first half possessions, 228 yards in the first half, and their average yards per play is a whopping 8.8, although Washington at 10.3 yards per play is equally as prolific so far tonight. It'll be their turn to answer.
Yeah, both of these quarterbacks are really having a great, first half so far with over 70% completion percentage.
So far this season, Wigmore is just 20th in the SFL, completing just 52%. Utah at 54.4% is 15th in the league. So both of them enjoying a much more efficient night than on average, as Utah will hand the ball off and quickly shut down in the hole. Salmons tackled by Stack and Paper.
Stack and Paper just ran on the run blitz there. Great eye for the ball for Stack and Paper and get that also won.
Halfway through the first half, Justin Reside, Andy Hamilton holding it down on stats, doing a great job for us. Charles Doherty and Cameron Irvine here with you as always on the Monday Night Spectacular. Tommy Utah one-on-one coverage, and I don't know how Johan Sutherland pulled that through.
I thought that was going to be an interception. I mean, that's just strength. It's, you know, two bodies fighting for the ball, and Sutherland won that one.
3rd down and 1, 2 in the backfield. And 9 in the box for Baltimore. They hand it off to Salmons. He got the first down.
Oh, wow.
Right at the line.
Holy smokes. Hit at the line, was able to bounce off and still keep going. Never quit that first down, keep the drive going.
4:12 to go in the first half. Utah dropping a throw. Utah will scramble off to his left. Now he's going to take off and runs and safely slides after a pickup of 4.
It looks like on the Baltimore defense, maybe not so much on that play, but it looks like they're showing a little more aggressive schemes. Whereas, like you mentioned earlier, Washington on their defense tends to settle back in center field and kind of watch the quarterback and try and make the quarterback pay for a mistake.
2nd and 6, just 2 third downs have failed tonight. One ended up in a punt for Washington, another in a field goal for Baltimore. This is a fresh set of second down for Salmons, and there is now an injury on the play. It is Bill McMillan, the pulling guard, who had nothing to do on that touchdown run.
He is a big part of that offensive line. Both McMillans, they're I say bookends. What do you call it if they're in the middle? I don't know the term for it, but let's just say they're very good guards.
In between the intermission, I really don't know the answer to that one. 3rd down and 2 for Washington. Rare to see an offensive lineman get banged up, and Dwayne Salmons had no chance on that as Baltimore was rushing from the outside, and now Washington's defense really has a lot of pressure on themselves on what is likely the final drive for Baltimore in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, definitely, and Melanishian just shot the gap there and was able to capitalize on that play.
Washington will have to punt it away, and a deep kick all the way down to the 14-yard line, and good coverage down the field by Ryan Cook, the corner. Irvin unable to get away, and he almost outkicked his coverage there, Charles. If Irvin could have broken the first tackle, might have been running for a while.
The last series for the Vultures, it looked like they went pretty much pass heavy. It looks like they're going to show it here, but they can't. I think they need to include some running elements here, or Washington's just going to make adjustments that can pay.
3:03 to go in the first half. Baltimore is 3 of 3 on scoring drives. This is Irvin wide open to the 35, and another first down for Washington. It just feels like, Charles, they're gonna have to hold on and just get some kind of big break on this drive.
I mean, I mentioned 12 seasons in the league. He's seen just about any coverage and every coverage possible, and he knows where to capitalize on it, and he's just eating it up tonight. The Tri didn't have to do something to knock him off his routes.
Irvin up to 126 yards in this first half of play. That is his 5th 100-yard game in his last 6, as Benji Matson will take the dump off, picking up 3.
After all the accolades for Irvin and Chima, we forget that there's Matson waiting in the wings. Mr. Reliable as well, 11 seasons in the league. So so many options for Wigmore.
Irvin set his career high against Florida on October 5th, 227. If you like milestone watches at home, that is T. Roy Gaines up the middle, and we hit the 2-minute warning with a 3rd down and 2 looming for Baltimore. 17-14, the Vultures lead the Trident right here on the Monday Night Spectacular on the virtual football network.
What was that term you used? Milestone watchers?
Yeah, I didn't feel good about it either.
No, I'm just digesting it.
3rd and short. Heavy look here. Matson's off the left of the line. They're going to toss it the other way. Gaines has a lot of space. Oh, T-Roy Gaines sending him to the shadow realm, as he would say. First down, Baltimore.
Yeah, and that was just showing you how strong Gaines is. Come on. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mentioned that it was pretty pass heavy on their previous possession. I love the fact that they're getting gains, and haven't seen the other halfbacks involved, but you got to mix it up to keep Washington on their toes.
Warren Murray saying, I'm glad I was 2 steps to your left, as that pass is incomplete for Irvin, because Murray almost got trucked too, as Irvin incomplete for the 2nd time tonight when he's targeted.
Yeah, Baltimore's got plenty of time, 1:31, and the thing about Baltimore that makes them so dangerous is they've shown a very effective pass game, and again, got to put some pressure on those wide receivers on the line.
Wigmore incomplete, as flying in to make the play was Mark Kaufman, to set up a 3rd and 10.
All right, so far so good. I mean, that was a good heads-up play by Kaufman, and they're probably going to go empty back here and just hold on to your seats.
They converted their first 3rd and long of the night. That time they had a back. This time they do not. Wigmore fires incomplete off the hands of De Niro. De Niro could have had a shot at it, and look at that. Washington gets a stop.
And just like I said for Baltimore, Washington has plenty of time here to put points on the board and potentially take the lead.
Punt is away for Baltimore. That is Tommy Powers, and that will hop into the end zone. We haven't seen any sort of incredible punting tonight thus far. But sure, it's on the docket. 1:15 left for Washington. If I was the Trident, Charles, I think I would just run this out. I'd feel pretty okay about where I'm sitting heading into the second half adjustments.
I don't want to be impartial, Cam, but the fact that we're not, paying accolades about the punting is probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's probably true. I love a good coffin corner kick as that run goes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got a point there, but what a punt fest.
Mack another tackle, and so far Washington content to run this out. They could run a little more time off the clock here, but they choose not to. Baltimore is going to make a big hit, and Mack with a tackle, so 3rd down and 10. It could potentially get to 4th down. As Washington will face a decision here.
You just run it out, Cam. Run it out. But it looks like they're going to try and get something out of it.
Will Baltimore get one last bite at the apple before the half? This is Phil Koss going in motion. Play action. Utah fires. Caught by Koss. With 15 seconds left, and Washington won't press the issue, but at least they keep the ball out of the Vultures' hands.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good executed rollout. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that decision, because it could have gone south and changed the flow of the game.
And now Washington, they got nothing to lose, so they'll take a timeout and run one more play in this half. We saw a 3rd and long earlier tonight where they sort of had a crossing pattern, a little rub route down the field that was successful, and then a little levels concept there on that last play. 7 of 9 for a $146 for Tommy Utah here in the first half. It looks like he's going to line up for a Hail Mary. Just huck it and chuck it, see what you can get out of it. That is incomplete down the field. Almost tipped into a receiver's hands, but that's how the first half will end. A very entertaining and exciting first half with Baltimore leading Washington 17-14, trying to snap the Tridents' 5-game win streak. Can't ask for much better in those first 20 minutes, Charles.
Right. I mean, it's very evenly matched. You know, it's back and forth. What I'm looking for here, obviously, the adjustments. I mean, that goes without saying, but defense, specifically the defensive lines of both teams. No sacks, I believe, in this first half. You got to start hitting that quarterback because both of those quarterbacks is at a very high completion percentage, and that's because they've had all the time in the world to sit back there and stay clean and go through their progressions. Challenge is on the defensive lines to go in there and start disrupting things. And it looks like we're back here. Start of the second half. Baltimore to receive.
Thank you, Charles, for your assistance as Mac Chima gets that up to the 28-yard line. There's nothing that makes you feel more like an adult that's not ready for the world than just taking a drink of water and not being able to do it correctly.
You know, for years, seasons upon seasons, Cam, I've recommended sippy cups for you, and you just don't listen.
I'm so stubborn. I really should take your advice. Wigmore out of the empty. Dropping a throw. This time, Washington brought more pressure and sacks Wigmore for the first time in the game. Diggs with the takedown, and right away you see the second half adjustment prove effective. That's what variety can do to a playbook, Charles.
That's right. You know, once in my broadcast history, somebody listened to me.
I was just about to say, well, I drinking from a sippy, but no, I didn't listen.
Oh, I checked your cupboards when I was there.
Second down and 16. You did? See anything interesting?
Thank goodness Skippy's not in chat because she could take that and twist it.
Second and long. Wigmore off his back foot under duress. Picked off by Nicholas Warner. Wigmore having to think quicker on his feet in the third quarter, and it's a disaster for Baltimore.
That's Warner's 5th interception for season, and for a linebacker, that is an incredible stat. 5 interceptions for a linebacker is great, and Warner and that whole defense just did, you know, what they needed to do coming out of the locker room on the road, you know, wanting to show everyone that they are viable in the playoffs, and so far so good. They're really showing on the field.
Asking you she shall appear. Skippy's in the chat. $2 super chat from Mark Lopez. Water tax. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. That'll go right to the sippy cup fund.
There should be SFL sippy cups.
That's not a bad idea. Seems like we're all getting older and having children these days, huh?
Yep. I'm gonna need one pretty soon.
Oh, now I need that on a shirt. Second down and 9. Just Photoshop Charles dangling the sippy cup.
That's great.
Washington off the interception at the Baltimore 25. Utah going to roll out to his left, fire down the field. That pass is caught to the 9-yard line. Johan Sutherland with the catch, 1st and goal.
Tonight on both sides, we're seeing perfectly executed rollouts. Defensive lines aren't showing any pressure at all, and that's a bad sign for the defense because it puts them at a disadvantage because the quarterback's outside of the pocket. The pressure is so far away from them. They have plenty of time to go through the routes and just, you know, strike and make it deadly.
1st and goal for Washington. Trying to get a touchdown on the board on their first drive of the third quarter, but Robert Brady not going to let that happen. Salmons picks up maybe a half a yard. 2nd down.
Once Brady gets his mitts on you, you're not going anywhere. 6'4", 275, and again, he's been in the league a long time, as well as all of the Vultures on defense. So he knows what he's doing, and he's not going to let you get past, and he showed it on that play.
Brady's 102nd career tackle as Utah throws a pick. Had pressure up in his face on the right side, and it ends up in Ben Stackenpaper's hands.
4th for the season, Cam. It happened at a great time. The offense was knocking at the door in the end zone, and he just, stood right there, read the eyes of the quarterback, and was able to make a great interception. And that is unfortunate for the Trident because they were really firing on all cylinders after that turnover.
So after these two teams scored on 5 straight drives, we've now had 5 straight scoreless drives and back-to-back interceptions after the end of the half and back-to-back punts. First down on the Baltimore 9 for number 9, who just got rid of it on a check down. Madsen breaks a tackle, gets away from another, and gets a first to the 20-yard line.
That is amazing. That is amazing. The quarterback threw under duress, was able to get the ball. I don't know how he was able to get the ball to Madsen. And Madsen just hung on to the ball, fought his way through 2 defenders, was able to get that first down. Amazing.
Threw that ball low and away outside. As you see Wigmore's distribution, 172 over the middle, 61 to either side. And they avoid losing the field position battle, getting that one up to the 20. Wigmore again having to think about it in the pocket, and that is the method that is effective against this aerial assault. As Washington's Albert Begin looking for the Vulture fans to cheer for him. I think he's still a little salty from that championship loss many years ago to the Vultures.
I'm still a little salty from that championship loss. Yeah, Begin, man, it's only a matter of time, and he's showing it when he's hitting those receivers so hard. Eventually, I think he might be coming away with another interception.
Diggs! Almost, buddy. Man, that would have been a touchdown. Easy.
Great. I don't know how they do it, Cam. Eyes in the back of their head, turn the other way, and just able to put their hands on the ball.
Diggs 6 picks in his career, 1 pick 6. Warner's got 3 of them. Wigmore again to throw, and it's time. De Niro able to hold on for the first down. It feels like Baltimore needed that one as Washington's defense has come out guns blazing.
Oh, they definitely did, because that offensive line, the pass blocking was starting to break down. The pocket was going away, and Wigmore had to make a split-second decision and made the right one and delivered right into the target mark out of first down.
Wigmore to throw, and this time fires it off to Irvin, and they're going to tack on a face mask to that as well, an incidental, but it should result in a Baltimore first down.
Wigmore is making some snap decisions, and so far he's been rolling up aces, because that one right there, under a little bit of duress, had to make a snap decision. Didn't make the most accurate pass to Irvin, but he was able to bring it in.
Wigmore fires. Irvin to the Washington 35-yard line. Ivory heating back up.
This is just unbelievable. He's had like almost 150 so far. Nine receptions, maybe 10, I don't know. Everyone that comes his way, it's just money. And that was like right in the breadbasket, Cam. Didn't have to do anything, just kind of put his little hands out there, the bread in the basket, I'm going home to mama.
5:55 to go in the third quarter. Baltimore survives that sluggish start to the start of the second half, and now they're cooking. This is Madsen. That's the 3rd different receiver tonight for Baltimore to stick out one hand and bring one down.
That's right. I mean, I think they said right before the game, if you don't do a one-hander, you're not getting on the bus to go home.
De Niro's like, please, give me a shot. 5.5 to go, third quarter. An impressive drive here for the Vultures. Now up to 7 plays, 71 yards, averaging 10 yards a play right now. Wigmore again on the left side. This time deflected away. Diggs with another paw on the football.
All right, so Cam, tell me if I'm wrong. Every passing play for Baltimore's been out of that empty set. Am I wrong?
At least on first down, for sure.
I don't recall. Could be wrong. I don't recall. Well, here we go. And then they just proved me wrong. I didn't say a word.
Gun empty. Second down and 10 here. 5:18 to go in the third. 7 in the box here for Washington. They rush just 4. And a check down to Matson, who's been the safety blanket for Wigmore up against some of the heavier pressure brought by the Trident. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, we said those 2 linebackers for the Trident have been just balling out all night. Warner and Diggs on that play. They've just got such a great eye for the ball.
3rd and 7, back to empty for Baltimore. Washington looks to get off the field, just a 4-man rush. Wigmore looking for someone to get open, and the pass is incomplete, knocked away by Albert Begin in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of options there. Good coverage downfield. The secondary of Washington had it locked in, but I guess the good news for Baltimore is that they have a chance of walking away, making this a 6-point ball game.
32-yard field goal for Victor Ironleg in his 5th SFL season. Straight through, right down the middle here in the friendly confines. Sports Gamers Online Stadium. 11 plays, 77-yard drive for Baltimore. Washington limits the damage to just 3. They trail by 6.
I like the way that both of these defenses so far early in this second half have come out aggressive. I mean, I think I wanted to see that in the first half. Made the adjustments, and it's showing in the second half, and they're getting some results, I think.
Kaufman on the return, and Baltimore. I really thought that it was going to be a big night for Kaufman in the return game, but the Vultures have really shut that down the last couple of times. Tommy Utah, 8 of 12 for 160 yards. That interception on the last drive is only blemish.
I'm going to look and see if number 64 is out there after getting injured. I don't know if I see his number. Yeah, it looks like Benji Olson's replacing him.
40 to go in the third. Good back, handoff, Sammons. Sammons gonna roll over, dipped for 6. Sammons 34 yards on 13 carries and a touch tonight. Dean 35 yards on just 5 carries.
Both of these quarterbacks have kind of leveled off on the completion percentage because of both defenses has turned it up from an aggressive standpoint.
Handoff Dean, and only got a yard or 2. Melanishin, Smith in the area. Big 3rd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, let's curious to see what they do here. I mean, they do have an option to run it, but and it looks like they're showing run out of this formation.
They ran off the left side to no avail earlier tonight. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Gosters is caught up in the backfield and never stood a chance. Robert Brady and Smith combined for the stop. Another huge play for the Vulture defense.
That's the definition of gang tackle. I mean, they just attacked the offensive line, were able to get through the blocking scheme and just shut it down in the backfield.
So the Trident will have to boot it away. Washington trailing Vancouver in the division by a game and a half after Vancouver won over Minnesota earlier this week. If Washington were to lose tonight, they would be 2 games back of Vancouver with 2 to play. But Vancouver still on the docket for Washington next week, flexed into Mike and Gerald's Friday night spot.
It's going to be a great game.
And could be a division clincher for the Vancouver Legion if they can take care of business. 1st down and 10, 3:17 to go in the third. Washington trying to make that more difficult on the Legion, but they got to win tonight to do that. Wigmore's pass is caught by Ivory Irvin. 1st down to the 38, just over the outstretched fingertips of the defender.
I mean, that was interesting coverage by Washington on that one. Looked like they did a base 4-3. The offense for the Vultures, the receiving corps at the top of the screen, looks like they flooded coverage and made him pay for it.
314 yards passing for Jack Wigmore tonight. That's already over the season average for Baltimore as Shima has a 1st down to the 45-yard line.
They are looking really good here. I know they've got a long way to go here on this drive, but wow, those last couple plays have been very impressive. And they've been capitalizing on the gaps that the defense is showing.
That game against Florida just a couple of weeks ago was also Jack Wigmore's 4K23 career high for Pat. Check that, 459 also against Florida way back on November 25th, 2023 was that career mark. Ivory Urban with the catch to the Washington 26 as Wigmore quickly approaches that record.
They're giving the receivers for the Vultures way too much space here. Especially Urban. I mean, he's been making them pay all night.
I'm surprised, Charles, they came out on the opening couple of drives and they really pressured Wigmore, and it got him off his game, and they've kind of gotten away from it. 21-33, 3:47 for Wigmore as Baltimore looks to extend their lead. This pass is picked off as they were looking for Chima, dropping back into coverage. Kappa Jones in his 15th SFL season, the three-time All-Star, rips it away.
15 seasons, and I think that's his first interception of the season. Just played it well. Good coverage, and just was able to fight for it and bring it in. And that was needed by that Washington defense because they were starting to get a little manhandled out there.
Jones' 42nd pick in his career. Washington survives. Gets a red zone stop. Their red zone defense, one of the best in the league. You can see why. Dwayne Salmons gets rid of one, pinballs off another, and gets out to about the 34.
That's insane. I mean, that is the definition of a solid stiff arm right there. Oh my gosh.
15 carries, 44 yards for Dwayne Salmons. He was a part of that Louisiana Revolution squad that, no pun intended, revolutionized the two-back system in the SFL. Really the pioneers for it. 1:33 to go in the third quarter as Sutherland will go in motion. The leading receiver tonight for Washington is Koss with 3 catches, but Cooper's 73 yards. The handoff to Dean, and he slithers through for 4 yards.
Ooh. I mean, they've the running game, Washington, has been very effective so far. Just got to keep at it, and maybe lean on the running game a little bit more, and let that open up the passing.
2nd down and 6. Mihata in motion. Has 1 catch for 16 yards. He is defended in man coverage by Warfield. Baltimore's bringing a lot of bodies again, and Salmons unable to get outside. Alvin Mack with the tackle, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, big 3rd and 4 for Washington. They're down by 6, and you gotta keep this drive going and put something up on the board. I know there's still a lot of time in the game, but Baltimore at home, it's not a good situation to be in if you give the ball back to them.
8 in the box, roll out Utah, fires opposite side
go.
of the
He's still
field.
going.
Sutherland shakes and gets a block. Yohan Sutherland to the 30. That was an A-plus move from Sutherland to wait for a block and spring him for 30-plus.
And that was amazing. I mean, that was amazing. I thought he was going to get brought down on that first contact there. Was able to just show some strength, and it smartly moved into the inside. I was going to say, hey, should have gone to the outside, but was able to add 15 after that move.
Phil Koss, a tremendous block, and that takes us to the 4th quarter. The defenses have sharpened, but the offenses still have the firepower. Baltimore 20, Washington 14. As we head to the 4th, put your numbers in the chat here on the Monday Night Spectacular. Andy Hamilton and Justin reside in the stats truck. Charles Doherty and yours truly, Cameron Irvine, here with you in the booth. As Andy points out, the last 3 drives, Jack Wigmore just had 1 completion under 10 yards. Both quarterbacks have been explosive tonight. 14.8 yards per attempt for Washington, 10.2 for Baltimore, as Salmons picks up 3 to start the quarter.
They've been running well. The offense for Washington, just stick to it. I mean, it's a close game. Don't give up on it. I mean, it's been you've got two runners that have almost, over 50 yards per carry, so, not per carry, but so far tonight. So keep it up.
Utah shakes off a sack, and it's incomplete. Looking for Mihana, saving the touchdown. Young Vaught, excellent coverage down the field, 3rd and 7.
That was almost a disaster. I mean, they're at 3rd and 7. It could have been 3rd and a mile. Stable. The strength of Utah was able to fight through that pressure and just, didn't get a completion, but, kept the sack from happening.
3rd down for Washington. Again, play action on a rollout. What will they do this time? Utah waits for someone to get open. The pass is caught by Cooper. 1st down into the red zone as Washington continues their drive.
Amazing. It's amazing how they keep these drives alive with those amazing play. Look at that. Look at the time that Utah has after that rollout. It's incredible. The offensive line for the Trident, unbelievable. There's a reason why they only allowed 13 sacks this season.
9th play of the drive for Washington. It's their longest drive of the night. It started with 1:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Under 9 to play in the 4th. Handoff, Dean shook a man, and Christopher Dean nearly scored, picking up 9.5.
Wow, that was a great adjustment there going into the gap. Was able to add extra yards. I think if he would have just stayed with the route he was, had to run, I don't think he would have had such a large gain.
Dean averaging nearly 7 yards a carry. 2nd and short, inside the 2, and Frank Smith puts down Salmons for a loss of 2.
Yeah, that was a huge play for that defense, getting them charged up at the right point here, trying to defend their end zone, keep them from scoring.
Washington has struggled against this heavy box on 3rd and short. 9 in the box for Baltimore. Split backs and going in motion, big number 69. That's the center, Charles Michael, playing out of position here with Mihana to the right. 3rd and 2. They go that direction. Salmons did not get the 1st down. Denied. Frank Smith very creative to shift the center there to block for Salmons, but Baltimore still got the stop.
That was an all-star tackle right there by Frank Smith. Not many outside linebackers in this league could close gap as quick as he did, and what a huge tackle.
And Frank Smith's going to get the money too. The field goal is up and good. 20-17, 11 play, 79-yard, 4-minute and 18-second drive, ends in 3. Both red zone defenses tonight at times have been spectacular here on Monday night.
And now we're at the point of the game with 7 minutes left in the 4th. Whoever has the ball has to be mistake-free. The other team's going to make you pay for it, the way these teams are playing.
Kneel down for Matt Chima, 7:34 to go in the quarter. 386 to 314 in total yards, but just 37 combined points on the board as, things have gotten stingy inside the 20.
And Wigmore's having a heck of a night. 347, 62% completion, and, QBR 91.
1st and 10. That's Roberts in motion. Another empty look for Wigmore. We've seen it all night. Jack to throw, looking for Irvin typically, but threw to Murray out of the backfield. He just dropped it. 2nd down.
Yeah, it hit him in the hands. Should have brought it in, but at least it hit the ground and didn't end up in the defender's hands.
2nd and 10. Wigmore now 21 of 35. Dropping a throw. Again over 10 yards. That's Chima, 1st down to the 39.
Holy smokes. These wide receivers for Baltimore are just insane tonight. They are finding the opening. And, the defense we mentioned a couple times, they're playing deep zone coverage a lot. And these veteran wide receivers are making them pay for it.
5 catches for 79 yards as Wigmore will fire incomplete, looking for Irvin. They are running this Washington secondary ragged, and they're still coming up with plays.
Yeah, they are. And, Most teams in the league will be gassed at this point, but so far Washington's keeping up.
Second and 10. This is Roberts again in motion. 4-3 look for Washington. We've seen that a lot tonight. The linebackers are doing their part out there with some mismatches. Matt Chima has got a catch. First down to the Washington 47-yard line.
Yeah, they're just dropping back, 4-3 zone coverage. And, the likes of Chima and Irvin and De Niro, they're chomping at the bit. They see that.
First set of downs with 6:40 to go. As Washington patiently waits for something good to happen defensively, but David Anderson, who had just 1 yard on his first carry of the night, gets 9.5. That
was a big run. I mean that's great when you come in off the bench and you're able to produce like that. If your team needs a run like that, and he executed.
Second down and short, 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Time not on the side of the Trident as T. Roy Gaines has a first down. Baltimore now into field goal range. Gaines picks it up.
I mean, Gaines is quite the, not secret weapon, but the weapon to have when you need to get those short yardage.
Under 6 to play. Wigmore dropping a throw. Irvin, first down to the 17-yard line.
Yes, I mean, come on, 200 yards receiving, just stop it. I mean, don't stop it, keep doing it. You're putting on a clinic.
Long catch is 204 yards. Irvin has racked up, officially 206 there, racked up an impressive season, and Baltimore trying to hope that their season does not end tonight at 3-7. Their playoff hopes would be all but dashed. But a win keeps them right in the thick of it as Wigmore will fire, and Irvin again down to the 1-yard line.
What's the record for one-handed catches in a game? He's got like 30 of them.
I think he's got it.
That's amazing. I mean, and that's so hard because he's about to get leveled by Albert Begin, one of the best strong safeties in the league. It's just amazing.
413 passing yards for Wigmore. 459 is his 4K23 career high. First and goal at the half-yard line. Toss it out to Anderson. Touchdown, Baltimore. That puts Washington in a pickle. They'll be in no-huddle offense under 5 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And that was a perfect drive by Baltimore, and they really put the weight on Washington's offense to have to respond. Like you said, not a lot of time, and they got to show us something. I mean, Washington's coming in with a 6-3 record, and showing us that whether or not they've got the chops to go deep in the playoffs. So this type of drive at this point in the game, on the road, being down by 10 points, that's when you show your worth.
Well, Washington's going to have to dig down deep. We'll see how their no-huddle offense looks. It's always a fascinating component of SFL football, Charles, because it's a part of the game plan that we haven't seen yet from Washington tonight. We'll see how they can stack up against the Vultures as Phil Koss takes a return out to the 29-yard line. 4:42 remains.
Phil Koss is amazing. I mean, especially on punt returns. He's one of the best special teams players in the league. So he's a good option to have there when get you some field positions this time of the game.
Utah tonight, not a lot of throws, 10 of 15, but for a whopping 211 yards with that hyper-aggressive Baltimore defense, so anything could happen here. 28 runs compared to 15 passes tonight for Washington, now trailing by 10. Sutherland goes in motion, and this looks like a man across the board here Once again for Baltimore, they're going to hand the ball off to Salmons. That is shocking.
That was interesting. I mean, they used to play in their playbook we haven't seen all night, but you know, just guessing.
Andy points out Irvin has more catches tonight, 13, than Utah has completions, 10. Second down and 8, 4:19 to go in the fourth, and Salmons takes another handoff. Even I, the AI expert, bewildered by this decision from Washington.
Yeah, I am too. I'm not the AI expert, Cam, but I am bewildered.
3rd and 6. Well said, Charles. Under 4 to go. Utah back to pass. That is caught to the 47-yard line. That is King Alexander with the catch. His first on his first target for 12 yards.
Yeah, that's you're a solid player when you can go through the game and not a lot of targets, but you bring it in when it counts.
All right, now they're going to go up tempo here. Down 10 at their own 47-yard line. Utah dropping a throw. He will fire, and it is picked off. Roy Towers with the takeaway, and that could be it for Washington. They still have 3 timeouts, the 2-minute warning, all that good stuff, but Baltimore's been on fire tonight.
Yeah, Roy Towers is 6th of the season, and that was just good coverage, textbook coverage downfield, and made Utah pay for it. And the defense, I mean, Baltimore in this second half, they just came out with, I think, a little bit extra RPMs on both sides of the ball.
Eddie, don't make me put you in a timeout.
Don't make us move a family. You move a family member.
Don't make me make you drink from a sippy cup. That's just terrible. T-Roy Gaines picks up 6. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I feel you.
470 for Baltimore on offense tonight, and as long as things stay the way they are, the Vultures will win their 2nd consecutive game. They had another mini winning streak earlier this season with Carolina and Albuquerque, and coming up next, Detroit and Pittsburgh have to face the wrath of Baltimore, but Pittsburgh's not scared as they crushed the Vultures last season in one of Baltimore's 3 losses. Pitch, good speed, will set up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, I think Baltimore is made for this in this type of situation. They've got the skill sets to just grind it out. I wouldn't be surprised if they just hand it off again and try and pound it up the middle through with Gaines and get that 1st down and just eat the clock.
For Baltimore tonight, they're 5 of 8 on 3rd down. They haven't had to face 3rd down all that much tonight, averaging 7.6 yards a play, including they've been over 7 yards a play in every single quarter. They've been very consistent tonight. They will toss it out to Warren Murray on 3rd and short, and he's got blocking for days. The tackle comes too late for Albert Begin. Murray's got the 1st down at the 2-minute warning, and one more 1st down, Charles, and we can say it officially. The Baltimore Vultures ain't dead yet. 2 minutes to go here on the Monday Night Spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. They had one of the best teams in the league come into their stadium, and they were not going to walk away with an L.
Hand off to Gaines. Picks up 3, and here come the timeouts burned from Washington.
Yeah, where are they on the field? I lost track. Are they in field goal range?
No, Washington's 42.
Okay, got a ways.
So maybe 10 yards or so. Here inside, Iron Leg can knock in a 49-yarder. Toss out to Murray, and Warren Murray still on his feet, and Warren Murray's got another 1st down, and he stays in bounds.
You know what I love so much about this playbook that Baltimore put out is in this situation, they are capitalizing on their strength, one of their strengths, which is the power run. They're not trying to be fancy and keep passing it down the field, just trying to eat up the clock and just end this and go home.
Probably the most impressive thing about tonight's win for Baltimore, as Gaines is going to break a tackle here, but does step out of bounds, is the fact that Washington came into the night #1 in passing yards allowed, 165 per game. They got eaten alive by Jack Wigmore and the rest of this offense. Didn't think that it would work out, that Baltimore would fare too well, Charles, with that stat, but turns out that they got something cooking here at the end of the season.
I mean, they've got a solid Washington has a solid defense across the board, and Baltimore found holes.
Toss again. This is David Anderson caught in the backfield, so Washington will burn their last time out with about a minute and 40 left to go.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get the ball back, but it's miracle time for them.
Third down. And off the Gaines. I was going to say, Charles, they need some kind of fumble, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. As Kappa Jones makes the stop, that'll force a field goal attempt out of Baltimore unless they decide to go for it, which we saw the Denver Nightwings earlier this week go for it late in a game, up big on Oklahoma City just to seal it up, but they'll kick from 37.
Let's do a fake and just make it interesting.
Nope. Not interesting. Although very successful field goal. Victor Ironwood.
Everybody grab your sippy cup.
Makes it 30-17, and Charles, it was bound to happen. No overtime for us.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I love great games, but I do have to wake up early in the morning.
I can hear you.
Look at all those 831 yards total. Crazy.
And, Washington, as Koss gets it up to the 31-yard line, Washington did not play a bad game. They're a very good team. They really didn't make, too many mistakes. I mean, a couple of interceptions and a couple of bad moments, but so did Wigmore. I mean, it was all kind of even. What do you feel like was the difference in the game, Charles?
I think it was the second half. I mean, we saw a much tighter Baltimore defense and offense, and Washington looked like they weren't executing quite. I mean, they were overall did a fine job, but just not enough to win. And in the second half, I think they were, not executing as well as they did in the first half.
12 of 18 there for Utah. Washington in that third quarter, they had the formula. It looked like they had that aggressive nature and were really bothering Wigmore. They kind of got away from it, and Wigmore just kind of got settled back in after those first couple of drives in the third.
Yeah, I mean, I think the good news for Washington is it's clear what they need to do from a playbook standpoint going forward. There's just a couple tweaks here and there, but they've got the horses and they've got the brains on the coaching staff to make it right.
So Washington will fall to 6-4. They've got at Vancouver on Friday with Mike and Gerald, and then they host Denver in the last week of the regular season. Just two monster games. It does not get easier for the Trident, who come in with the current 10th most difficult schedule here in the SFL. That pass is incomplete. That'll be a first down for Baltimore. Meanwhile, the Vultures have had the second highest strength of schedule, second most difficult schedule this season, which has probably contributed to that 4-6 record. We know that this Vulture team can be dangerous. You said in pregame, Charles, can't sleep on them, and I don't think Washington took them lightly tonight, but Baltimore certainly flexed their muscles.
Yeah, they did, and a very sound playbook by Baltimore on both sides of the ball.
Next week, it's Washington, Vancouver. Florida, Denver is an interesting contest. Baltimore at Detroit has become a very Big game on Friday night. Albuquerque heads to Bossier City. Can't sleep on the Steamers either. They just pulled a massive upset on the DC Dragons. OKC goes to Chicago for a rare home-and-home to end the season after the scheduling tweaks in the halfway point. So OKC with round one with Chicago. Charleston takes on Lexington, DC at Los Angeles in the Saturday late block. Sunday afternoon, it's an isolated game, Minnesota and Pittsburgh, a huge game for both of those teams. Mexico City at Houston, Fort Worth, Queen City, Sin City, Carolina wraps us up next week. That is your ball game, 30-17. Baltimore defeats the Washington Trident. I think the only thing left to decide, Charles, is if Jack Wigmore or Ivory Irving gets player of the game.
That's right. Before I give my opinion on that, the streak continues. No fumbles tonight.
Yep, no fumbles. Good for them.
Yeah. You know what? Wow. I am going to give it to Irvin because 200 yards and 2 touchdowns is just the standout stat. I mean, 400 yards for Wigmore's. I mean, he's a close second. I mean, I'd probably give balls to both of them, but I think Irvin's just kept the drives alive, and he caught it, and great coverage by Washington, and yeah, he gets my ball.
I agree with you on Irvin. The degree of difficulty on some of his catches were top tier. He delivered most of the night. Final score: Baltimore 30, Washington 17. We'll see you for Week 15 starting on Friday night. For Andy Hamilton and Justin Reside, who did a great job holding down the stats truck for us tonight. Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. Take care. We'll see you next weekend.